Hello, everybody, and welcome to Everything But the Cats. I don't know if you can see them yet, but as you can probably see, we are joined today by a number of friends, and that means one thing and one thing only. We're going to continue talking about everything. My name's Gage.
I'm DJ.
And today we are joined by some very dear friends.
I'm Andrew, and I am friend number one.
I'm Garrett. I've been here before, I think.
My name is Jacob. I keep getting invited. Why am I still here?
Let's go!
He did a haiku. He did it.
Yes, I said keep it
As
below.
always.
Oh, go ahead, DJ.
If you don't like our haikus, you can go hike yourself.
Yes.
Haiku.
So if you have been following the podcast for some time, you will know a few things. One, Garrett has been on to teach us about the Emu War. He's also been involved in one Christmas gift guide episode, the very first one we did, and a few of the, actually every other role-playing game that we've done. Andrew has been involved in every other role-playing game that we've done. And Jacob, this is his first time doing a role-playing game, is my understanding, especially a recorded one. And this is his second time joining us on the podcast. The first time came in one of our audio-only episodes where we played Super Fight with our friend Caleb Ross as well. That was a really good time, and you should go check it out. We have a lot of gold in our audio-only episodes, you YouTubers. But anyways, today, what are we doing, guys?
We're doing a
Violent-
role-playing game.
Video games.
Violent video games. Yes, our favorite pastime.
We're getting violent because we're playing the violent games, right?
Well, as I mentioned about Garrett and Andrew joining us previously for role-playing games, and this being Jacob's first role-playing game, I think it's pretty obvious to tell. We are playing a role-playing game today. Yeah, spoiler. Although today we're technically not doing a lot of playing. So, last Halloween and both of the previous Christmases, we have done just really short RPG-like campaign-type things. The Christmas ones that we've done are the same three cousins celebrating Christmas, saving Christmas, mind you. And the Halloween one we did last year was kind of just a standalone thing with the mob. This story that we're going to be doing this time might actually evolve into something that is longer lasting, but we will see how that goes as we go through it. But this time around, we are using Monster of the Week by Michael Sands. It is published by Evil Hat Productions. It's a really, really cool program. It uses Powered by the Apocalypse as its system. And what we're going to do today is we're going to start by just kind of going over the rules, kind of how the game works, and then we're going to get into the character creation side of things. And after that, we might do a little bit of role play just to finish things off. Before I dive into kind of an overview of Monster of the Week, do you guys have any questions?
What's Monster of the Week?
I have a similar question. What is the monster of the week? And will it change next time?
What are you guys talking about in the podcast next? What cryptid?
Who am I?
Better
Those
yet,
are
where am I?
So many good questions. I don't know what cryptid we're covering next, but after this episode, hopefully the next episode is the first actual play of the game. And then the next episode after that is probably going to be a Christmas... No. The next episode after that is DJ teaching me about the different levels of rapids.
Like, what?
Different
Water
classifications.
classification
Yeah, water classification system.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, cool.
But yeah, so also DJ, you are DJ.
Poops.
That was your question, right?
You're right, yeah.
Powered by the Apocalypse. Okay,
I
go
thought he was
ahead.
Poops Giving. Sorry.
He is Poops Giving in the chat. So, Monster of the Week is a Powered by the Apocalypse tabletop RPG. It's based on shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Supernatural and X-Files, Scooby-Doo, stuff like that. It focuses, instead of on a larger campaign, on episodic monster hunting adventures featuring teamwork, mystery, and emotional drama, maybe. It is not combat heavy. I am going to have some combat in here for sure, but that's not the point. The point is that we are collaboratively telling a story about these guys being monster hunters who solve a mystery. So the tone can kind of range with Monster of the Week from, like your your more funny monster of the week type shows, I would say Gravity Falls kind of fits that category, all the way up to the more serious, like with something like Supernatural, for example. And the emphasis is mostly on your characters developing. So if you are monster hunters, they can evolve over time. There is even a function in the game where you can retire your monster hunter if you reach a certain level, which is just kind of funny. When you do retire the monster hunter, you hand them over to the keeper or the dungeon master, and they get to do with them as they please. And not like kill them off, but like bring them into the story to help you maybe in the future or something like that. So that's a cool function. So the player roles, I have already kind of mentioned it. We have one keeper, traditionally speaking, in most RPGs. That's the game master, the dungeon master, whatever you normally call them. This game specifically calls them the keeper, the facilitator who creates the world and the mystery, and then just kind of lets the hunters loose in it to see what they do and how the world responds to it. The game normally has 2 to 5 hunters. I think it's really cool we get to have 4 of you guys. Each of you has to have a unique archetype. The core mechanics are pretty simple. You're going to need 2d6. You don't necessarily need them today, but you will need 2d6 when we actually play. And then you add them to whatever your relevant stat is. And we'll get to your stats later. They are cool, tough, charm, sharp, and weird. Garrett, I assume weird is going to be very high for you.
Don't have to
Quality
call them
insult.
out like
You
that.
are correct.
Dang.
I've got a negative cool.
You are also correct.
Listen, guys, this is fantasy. Can we just pretend to be something we're not for a minute?
So
Okay.
the way that the rolls work is you roll your 2d6 and add whatever your score is, your relevant stat, and a 10 or more is a success. A 7 to a 9 is a partial success, normally with some kind of a complication. And a 6 or less is bad stuff happening. The way that it's actually worded in the book is all hell breaks loose. But the benefit of rolling a 6 or less is you get experience by failure. So remember that. You have the option, and we'll get to how the luck mechanic works in a little bit, but you have the option to spend a luck. You have 7 to start the game unless your character requires you to have less. You can spend a luck to get rid of one of your failure rolls, but if you fail, you do also get experience. So just keep that in mind in how you play. The primary goal is for you guys to work together to discover what the monster is. So that's going to be probably kind of a secret as we get into it. How to stop it, and to survive everything else that's going on. The monster in every one of these cannot be defeated by just punching and kicking it. You have
I
to
would like to try.
you have to find you have to find its weakness and use its weakness against it. And so that's where the investigation comes in. That's where the mystery solving comes into play. There are going to be clues throughout. There may even be a person, if you happen to roleplay exceptionally well, who just tells you everything you need to know. Who knows?
It's almost like he's called the keeper or something.
Yeah. So that's the keeper. That's my job, is watching all of that stuff. The hunters, that is you guys. You are going to be the character archetypes. There are playbooks. I'm almost certain there are 13. There could be more, actually. Each hunter, I'm going to go over what each of them are in here in just a second. Each hunter is a specific type of hunter with unique moves, stats, and flavor. For example, you've got things like the Chosen. They're the chosen one who is specifically picked by some deity or cosmic force to face evil. You've got the Professional, who is someone who's hired by the government or a monster hunter agency. And so they kind of normally have, like, they've got a background in this. They've got specialties. You've got the Spooky, which is a character who has some kind of magical abilities that have a negative twist to them or an evil twist to them. And then you've got the Flake, who I'm trying to think the best way to, kind of like a conspiracy theorist is like a good example, but it's like someone who's just always kind of sees that something's going wrong. It is kind of part of the flavor to it. Jacob, you're welcome to flesh yours out more than that. But the heroes are inspired by tropes, and that's why there can only be one of each. So we're going to get to the creation here in just a minute. There are core moves. These are similar to what we would have used last Christmas with DJ's thing. You can act under pressure, which is where you do something risky or difficult. A lot of what you guys are going to do is going to be acting under pressure. So, cool stats important, but make your stats accurate to your character. That's what I like. That's important. You can do help out, which is where you help another hunter in whatever's going on with them. I will say it has to make sense in world. You can't be like 2 rooms over and say, like Jacob's gonna fire a gun at a creature, and Andrew's 2 rooms over and he's like, "Hey, I want to help him with that." You got to be able to explain how you're helping, so that matters. Then you've got investigate a mystery. So this is where there is a preset list of questions that you can ask. There is a reference sheet that has the different questions that you can ask under investigate a mystery. If you succeed, kick some butt, which is engaging in combat. I am censoring how it's written in the book. Manipulate someone, that's like persuading an NPC. You can use manipulate someone on another player. You can use manipulate someone on a monster. I'm just warning you, it may go poorly for you. Protect someone. Again, you can protect another person. It could be another player. It could be an NPC, whatever. But it has to make sense how you're doing it. If someone's, like someone's about to get punched and you're like, I protect them. You got to be able to like step in front of it or throw something in front of the punch. Read a bad situation. That's assessing danger and planning your tactics for the situation. And use magic. Everybody will have the ability to perform some level of magic, but it's not like I cast fireball or something like that. It's more like doing something above what a human can naturally do. You can cause damage with magic, but normally it's not big damage. There is a function called big magic. We probably won't get into that in this first campaign. Any questions on any of that?
You said in this first campaign. Are there going to be more?
I mean, I think it would be fun, especially if you guys do like your characters, to be able to do more like this, for sure.
Oh,
I intend for
great.
mine to die.
Oh, so, okay, cool. That's fine by me. You can make another one. Each hunter also has specific, unique moves to that hunter. And when we're going through the hunter creation phase, that's when you'll pick those. You also, when we're doing character creation, you don't have to reveal everything about your character. I want to go ahead and say that. If there are parts of your character that you want to remain a secret to the rest of the party for the sake of the story, feel free to leave those a secret until they are pertinent. So I think that, that's important. Luck, harm, and experience. I already kind of mentioned this. Each hunter has 7 luck points. You can spend 1 luck either to turn any roll into a 12 or to avoid all harm from an attack. When you run out of your luck points, the keeper can make your fate catch up with you. Normally that means something bad is going to happen or bad stuff is going to start happening all over your character. Harm, you each have 7 harm unless you have an ability that grants you more that you can take before you're dead. Harm can be stabilized or healed by time, moves, or magic. Injuries and trauma can carry negative weight. So they will impact your character as you continue forward. And that's just kind of what's going on there. With experience and leveling up, you gain 1 experience anytime you roll a failure. And at 5 experience, you level up. So every time you level up, you can either add a new move from your playbook or another playbook to your character. You can increase a stat. You can gain a gear or allies, or you can do advanced improvements after you have leveled up several times, which, like I said earlier, includes retirement, making a new hunter. You can make a base. There's all kinds of other stuff there. The keeper, me, I have moves too. I have what's called soft moves and hard moves. Hard moves are when I am directly hurting you guys or directly doing something to cause you a problem. Soft moves are mostly like I'm allowing the world to do what it does. I'm just letting you know what's happening in the world, kind of. Or I'm setting you up to act. That's a soft move. I do have a number of moves, but I'm never supposed to say the name of the move when I'm doing it. For instance, one of them is separate the party. Separate the hunters. I'm not going to say, I'm separating you. What I'm going to say is the frogman picks up DJ and carries him up the ladder.
This is my destiny.
And then you guys kind of get to decide how to react there. Or I'm going to say, like, the floor caves in and Jacob and Garrett fall through. And you guys have to decide what you're going to do from there. So stuff like that. And I'm not going to tell you all of my moves because I don't think you need to know it. The two main rules, though, for me are the rule of cool. If something's going to be cool, we're going to do it. Like, I want you guys to try fun stuff. We don't need to play it safe the whole time. I want you guys to try things, and I want you to feel comfortable doing that. Because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to win. I'm trying to facilitate you guys telling a fun story. And so I'm on your side. I'm on your team. Otherwise, in the background, I'm going to be advancing the threat. I'm going to make your lives dangerous and exciting. I'm going to fill the world with monsters, weirdness, and other people so that we can find out what happens. I will let you suffer the consequences of your actions. So if you decide that on day one of the festival that you're going to just spend the whole afternoon drinking in a bar, you're going to do that. But you will definitely miss out on the Harbinger of Doom that takes place at the town square. And you might hear some hearsay about it the next morning or something. But you'll be like 12 hours behind. You know, does that all make sense?
Yo, why is it on fire?
Yeah.
You missed it, dude. Harbinger showed up. It was nuts.
What he called himself. They killed him immediately.
We just like threw a rock at his head, and he's just
Done.
So any questions before we start getting into character creation?
Gage and I have matching shirts.
It's not a question, Garrett. You broke the rules.
What's new?
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Done.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Check.
So that was a lot of information up front. I'm definitely quoting the Adventure Zone here or paraphrasing the Adventure Zone here. That's most of the information. Like, we will maybe have to get into some of the rules in a little more detail as the game goes on if you do something that requires it. But for the most part, that's the rules. Like, that's the goal here. I'm going to give you the world. You guys get to do whatever your character would do, and we'll see what happens. Sound good? Great. So for character creation, the first step is to pick a playbook. Now, DJ, Garrett, and Jacob have all picked their playbooks already. I assume, have you had a chance to start filling in some of the information on there?
Yep.
I've been
Okay.
doing it right now.
Awesome.
I did it like an
Yes.
hour ago.
Did you stop at the introduction section?
Yes.
I actually have role-played a whole episode by myself.
He's playing like not even 3D, like chess.
Yeah.
Now, okay,
The whole campaign is the whole.
I see an option where if you get enough experience, one of the big level up things you can do is to just make another character and
Yeah,
play
that is an option.
both.
Yes. If we get to that point, I will let you do it.
I have an objective.
I'm not there yet, but I've not made it all the way to introductions, but I'm on my way.
Okay. So since you guys, a couple of you have already picked your playbook, you don't have to keep filling, like, we're going to keep going, filling things in as we go. Some of them you probably already have picked. Do you guys have ideas for what your name is?
Yep.
And kind of the concept of your character? Like, just a one-line kind of concept. I don't care who goes first.
I'm like 60% there. I've not decided if I'm a boy or a girl yet.
Okay.
I've got not like backstory, but I've got an idea.
Okay. What's your name?
Thomas.
Thomas.
Are you a tank engine? It's going to be the tank of the group.
I
So-
just spawned spider legs. Just
Garrett, the spooky. Thomas.
ooh, I really had to push a voice just down. Pretty bad just then.
I'm impressed, Garrett. I was ready for it, and you didn't do it.
It was like, and I had to like suppress it hard.
I am proud of you for not doing it.
Our ratings are proud of you.
Or ratings, yes. Okay, so Garrett is Thomas the Spooky. Jacob, do you have a character name yet?
Sure, I'm going with Malachi.
Malachi.
I almost went biblical name. Almost. I was super tempted to go
Yeah,
Isaac.
Thomas is not a biblical name. I know.
No. I was super tempted to go Isaac, and I was like, nah.
Thomas is a biblical name.
Listen, I dropped that Ozark. I'm just kidding. I'm
And
joking.
I went Hezekiah. I should have done a Bible name. Gosh,
I should have gone
idiot.
Jesus.
Dang it, I went with Japheth. Should have gone Bible.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Judas.
I am Cooper Anderson. And I am Coop the Snoop, and I'm always chasing that scoop.
I love it.
I see what you did
I
there.
did not think you were gonna. That's what you were gonna be chasing, but okay.
It's the poop.
I mean, it's in your name. It's been referenced a few times.
Poopity scoop.
But Cooper Anderson is my name. And I still haven't decided if I'm a boy or a girl.
Okay.
Like you, DJ, haven't decided, or Cooper hasn't decided.
I haven't decided for Cooper.
Okay.
I'm pretty settled on DJ, I think.
And then Andrew.
Close, man.
There's just if people haven't seen Monster of the Week, like the player options are all really good.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and run down those real quick. So we've got The Chosen, which is a once ordinary person who discovers they have a special destiny and who has been given the power to accomplish it. The Chosen is good in a fight with some weird powers. Think of like Buffy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The Crooked, which is a criminal turned monster hunter, haunted by their past and enemies. The Crooked is good in social situations and has a lot of contacts. The example it gives is Anna Valmont from the Dresden Files, or Peter Bishop from Fringe. We have the Divine, an agent of a higher power with a mission to fulfill the divine is very tough and has been granted holy powers. Think Castiel from Supernatural, Michael Carpenter from the Dresden Files. Read all the examples of each of these.
I also love how she has the or they have the, I can't think of the term, from Naruto, the giant form that fights behind him in the playbook. Susanoo?
Oh,
Is that it?
Susanoo?
Yeah.
Wait,
I haven't
where
seen
is that?
Shippuden.
You should. The Expert, a hunter who knows all about monsters and magic. The Expert knows a lot of hidden secrets and how to find out more, and also has a well-supplied base to work from. Bobby from Supernatural, Rupert Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The Flake.
Now, I was gonna ask, are any of these like Bobby from King of the Hill?
My purse.
Probably the Mundane.
Honestly, yeah.
That's what if I'm being honest, of what I've gotten through, that's one I've been thinking about, but I'm only like halfway through the list.
Okay. The Mundane. I think the Mundane could be really fun. The Flake is a conspiracy theorist. The Flake is great at finding things out and seeing how the events of separate mysteries are connected. Agent Mulder or the lone gunman from the X-Files. The Initiate is a member of an ancient monster-slaying sect trained to fight and use magic. The Initiate is good with magic, and their sect provides help. Sometimes problems, though. But think the Wardens from the Dresden Files, Annalise from the 20 Palaces series. The Monstrous is a monster fighting for the good guys. The Monstrous is weird and can have a variety of different powers based on what monster breed they are. Angel from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Angel Bill Compton from True Blood. The Mundane, just a normal, regular person, especially good at dealing with regular people you meet and have to save, and at getting captured by monsters, which can be more useful than you might expect. The Mundane is really fun because like the whole purpose is to get captured so you can help the team.
Yeah, I
like
saw-
you buff people by being
Yeah.
captured.
One of them was something like, if someone protects you successfully, they gain experience. And if I get captured by a monster and I'm mundane, I get experience. I'm like, one is like, if you recklessly just like go to scope something out without any regard for your own safety, you get experience. Or like you get like hold 2 or something. I'm like, okay, all right, this is kind of just me.
So like hold 2 is where you have like advantage that you get to continue holding throughout the entire experience. So that doesn't mean indefinitely, but like let's say you're exploring a specific area, that means you have that advantage the entire time you're exploring that area. Is pretty much how that works. But yeah, so the Professional, you work for an agency that hunts monsters. The Professional's good in a fight and a good team player. The Snoop, a journalist looking for the real story behind weird events. Great at finding stuff out, terrible at fighting. The Spellslinger, oh, go ahead.
Quick question. What time period is this set in?
Yes, so this is taking place in essentially modern day.
Great.
Like
Cool.
time.
My idea works then.
I will say there is a way that cell phones are going to be obsolete in this campaign. So I would say do your best not to rely on a cell phone for anything with your character.
Well, would they still work as a camera?
Yeah, it would work as a camera. That's fine.
Boom.
We have the
Great.
brain chips.
But like internet and cell service may or may not be unavailable to you for the entirety of what we're doing.
I
That
don't
guy's
want
Gen
5G
Z. He's like
anyway.
unplugged.
I want those cancer waves in the air. Just kidding.
So, yeah, we got the Snoop journalist. The Spellslinger is a trained wizard wielding powerful magic in their crusade against evil. The Spellslinger's arcane training gives them an advantage when dealing with the Eldritch secrets. That's wild. The Spooktacular.
I almost actually went with that one in the beginning.
That's a fun one, too.
Very, very close to.
The Spooktacular is a veteran of supernatural carnival. At home with trickery and distraction, you're good at dealing with people, but not necessarily in ways they appreciate. Inspired by mystical circus stories like Carnival, Something Wicked This Way Comes, and Johann Cabal the Necromancer. The Spooky has psychic or magical powers. These powers are strange and sinister, and not completely under the Spooky's control. The example it gives is Sam Winchester from Supernatural. I assume that's later in the series.
Very much. What? No, it's like season 2.
Okay. And then we have the Wronged. This is a revenge-driven and really tough person. The Wronged is all about killing a specific kind of monster and protecting others as they do it. Dean Winchester is the example given here, except Dean's specific kind of monster is all of them, pretty much. So those are the character types. Those of you who have already picked your character, I assume this is something you may have already filled out on the character sheet. Okay, let me get down to where introduction.
So the introduction for my character is at like the very end of their like.
Oh yeah, so you have a
where you
lot of
pick your
stuff you've
thing.
already gone over.
Yeah, there it makes you go over quite a bit.
Yeah,
I also probably should look at the character creation sheet. I have not done that.
you probably should.
Whoops. I didn't do it.
Yes, DJ.
All right, I'm just trying to decide how obnoxious to be with my guy. Like, because my idea is definitely just like internet, like street interviewer type. Like,
Like Jimmy
goes up
Kimmel
to
style.
random people like, Bigfoot, smash or pass. Like,
We all know the
where
answer
is
to
the-
that
where-
question.
Where is the player?
he's a 3, but he's got
Player
big
sheet.
feet.
So you were looking at the.
Because right now I've just got everything written down like a Word doc.
Okay. Yeah, so it's in the click hardcover edition, and then go to playbooks, and it's the PC playbooks.
So it may not work.
There's
Never mind, I
something
lied.
about Lock Tua.
No. No.
We'll workshop it.
There's nothing.
Night, guys.
That feels like Garrett. That felt pretty much like Animaniacs when there was always a joke that like they knew like cross the line. You would just see one go,
Fingerprints.
Good night, everybody. Question for the group here. I remember seeing something about like there can be like group archetypes.
Yes. So
Team concept.
I did ask earlier to come up with whether or not you guys wanted to be tourists or locals. So far, the only people who answered me on that question have said tourist. So we can assume that you guys are a pre-existing team if you want to do that. That's something we can decide here. My story does not matter whether or not you've met before today or not.
So is it we're either tourists or locals? Like there couldn't be one stray local among us?
Like, I mean, there could be a local among you, but what I meant is you don't all have to be the same. But do you want to be... the goal I was thinking is this is the adventure where you all meet each other. But if you want this to be like your pre-existing squad, that's fine too. If one of you wants to be someone who's from the area anyways, that's great.
Yeah.
The thing that changes if there's a local among the group, they're going to have a different knowledge of the history of the area and the geography of the area than everybody else. Like they're going to have a more in-depth knowledge of that I will send them individually directly so that they can share it as they see fit.
Okay.
I'm definitely a local.
Okay,
Question,
DJ's a local.
Gage.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
also going to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right
So
back.
you can build your weapon,
Yes.
your special weapon. Material. Is there material that is like off limits to make it out of?
Let me look at the spooky to be sure. It should say what types.
It says or anything. So it says finally pick what material the business end is made from. Add steel, cold iron, silver, wood, stone, bone, teeth, obsidian, or anything else you want. Is titanium out of the question?
Why titanium, and what are you wanting to make?
It's a very strong metal, and it is very lightweight.
Okay, titanium is not out of the question. You just have to describe to me how your character, like, you have to be able to explain to me how your character made it.
Okay, then I won't do that then. I'll do something, I'll probably do like obsidian or something. Because it's going with the theme of like, it's a gift. So, if you catch my drift.
Okay.
Obsidian's pretty strong too. I mean, it's...
Again, you still just, you just have to be able to explain how it was made and how your character has it.
Bone or teeth would still be good though.
So once you guys are to introduction, that's where I will pick up controlling everything again. As far as like leading the conversation, you're free to fill out everything before introduction though.
Okay.
And if you have questions, I'm here, of course.
I would like feedback from the group. Just like, I'm a fan of I'm not trying to like stack our team to be like just broken or anything, but also I don't want us to be like, we all do only magic and nobody can take a hit.
We're just min-maxing a game
That is
wasn't
not my
designed
plan.
for it.
I did see a few things. I was like, there's a way you could take advantage of this system so hard.
So here's
Like
the thing.
Go ahead.
This is based on Monster of the Week shows, and the characters in them sometimes do really take advantage of it. Like, the rule of cool is here.
Well, I mean, like, I forget which one it is, but it's like you make a deal with the devil and you get like you can get +2 or +1 to a couple different things, plus a few other abilities. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, if you pick all 3 of these, you only live for the next year. Like, you have to pay whatever price at the end of 6 months. And like, 6 months, this might be different, but in normal D&D time, 6 months is forever. That could be like 10 campaigns before you get through 6 months.
It's very supernatural. That's like a thing in that show where it's like you make a deal with the devil, the hellhound's come and get you later on.
Yeah, which is like, okay, so it's 6 months.
Terrifying concept, by the way, if you've watched the show.
But like stacking that with some of the other like leveling up abilities, like that can be kind of crazy.
You
Now,
can get
there's-
beefy, but I'm pretty sure each stat has a maximum of +3.
Right. But
Yeah,
like
It does.
+3 on anything when you're rolling 2 dice, and the consequences are if you get 6 or lower, it means that there's only, if you roll a 1, like 2 1s or a 1 and a 2, it's the only way you fail on anything if everything's a +3.
That's true.
Which
That's true.
takes some of the fun out of it, and you don't get a lot of the experience. But if you see where I'm going, that's kind of crazy.
I was over here filling out this player card, and then I realized that I was filling one out for the Chosen the entire time. I was like, why are these ratings different than what the book has? And I was like, oh, that is why.
Yeah. I was going to say, I was looking at the spooky, and there's nothing in here about a weapon that you've built.
My man was a Belmont. Like, he was from Castlevania. I was giving him a whip.
Whoop-ah.
It was a whip with a sword and spikes. Like, I was about to have fun. And it was the Chosen, which makes sense why it gets the cool weapon.
This place is a freaking hellscape.
You said you had something special concocted for a Chosen.
Yes.
Well, see, that makes me want to pick Chosen, but then, like, I looked at
he hadn't picked yet. I was going to say, if no one picks Chosen, can you tell us?
Yeah, if no one picks it, I'm going to tell you what the fate of the Chosen was going to be.
I thought you got to choose some of the fate, or at least I don't know, the themes of it. I don't know. I want to pick it just because I want to be part of the story, but also like everything else about it, I was like, meh. Like it's kind of cool. Where it's like you can't die until you fulfill your fate or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, but where's the fun in that?
What if their fate is to die at the hands of a specific thing?
They're martyrs.
So I'm feeling like I'm gonna go with the mundane, just because it just looks like so much fun.
Okay.
I just haven't decided if I want to go, sorry for all the name dropping here. If I want to go SpongeBob, hi, how are you? Wonderful weather we're having. Or like...
You are literally the person that people kidnap, and then they're like, we don't want this kid anymore, man. Like,
because the other option,
Take him back.
archetypes I'm thinking of are like Ned Flanders of like, well, hey there, neighbor.
oh my god.
Maybe even like just Mr. Rogers like, hey, Fran, how you doing? Well, that sounds great.
Here's Bob Ross.
Just Bob
Start
Ross.
teaching him how to paint while you're captured.
Just got a paintbrush, and on the other end it's a
Just
stake.
like dip it in like a blood pot, like puddle next to you, and just start painting on the wall.
Happy little skeletons.
Man,
Now, Gage, is one of the ones for one of the moves for mundane says, "Oops! If you want to stumble across something important, tell the keeper you will find something important and useful, although not necessarily related to your immediate problems." That does not have a limit on how often you can do that.
A mystery mouse tool every 6 seconds.
I just had
It's an important tool that we'll need later.
This is not relevant at all.
Let me
to
get to that.
the campaign right now. I just had a heart-stopping experience. So I wear in-ear monitors for my headphones, and I went to go take this one out, and the stupid rubber piece came off inside my ear.
Classic.
I couldn't get it out. I was like, oh no. Let's go run and grab tweezers.
One time
That was not fun. I did not like that.
in like first grade or something, I went to the hospital because we were doing rainbow fish in school. We were making our
Yeah.
own rainbow fish, and we were putting little
With like the scales and stuff.
little
Yeah.
bedazzle jewels on paper, and I put one in my ear, so it'd be like an earring, and then it was really far in my ear. So they irrigated me, and problem solved.
I'd have a buddy that had to have a marble removed from his. He like stuck it in and then stuck it in.
So Andrew, the rule book says, and I quote, "I've gone into detail about how to handle the basic moves, but there isn't room to cover all the playbook moves in the same depth. The overarching rule is to interpret results using the keeper's agenda, principles, things to always say, and all your moves. If you stick to those, you won't go wrong. So, as long as we stick to my agenda and my rules of things I have to say, yes, there is no limit to that move."
What's the move?
Don't you worry about it, Garrett.
I think that was when I was panicking because I had a rubber piece stuck in my ear and I was not paying attention to anything.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yikes.
I haven't even decided that's what I want yet, because there's honestly a lot of good stuff here.
Well,
Gage, I have
each character
certain-
type is fun in its own way. It's just what you want to do now. Go ahead, Garrett.
I have certain tags to the spooky. I'm not going to say them out loud because they're going to be a secret.
Okay.
You have a hand in deciding them too, like what happens.
Is that... Let me get there.
Don't look. Everyone don't look. Don't cheat. Hands up. I'm having a hard time choosing those.
No, you pick them. I don't pick them.
Oh,
for
I
you.
know. But
I
I'm
just
saying I'm
get
having.
to use them.
That's why I'm having a hard time picking them.
Do you think I'll use them poorly?
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, spoken.
I'm not going to say all of them, but part of me wants to go paranoia, hallucinations, and rage.
Okay, go for it.
But, like, that's a deadly
Wait, okay,
I feel like
so-
that'd be a...
Garrett,
Sounds
I
like
want you
my
real
life.
quick. Think back to the concept of what you wanted your character to be.
I know.
What three go along with that?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Jacob, how are you doing?
I had everything pretty much set up beforehand, so I'm feeling pretty confident in what I picked.
Cool.
It's just the special flake moves. I'm picking between like, what I want my third one to be.
Gotcha. Okay.
I am now done. My introduction is waiting.
Okay. Garrett is
I'm-
waiting at the introduction.
Shoot, guys, you're making me look bad.
I've been ready since like October last year.
Okay, alright. Maybe you can calm down there, eh?
Do you
Maybe
care how
chill
old
your
I am?
beans a little bit, buddy.
As long as it
Gage.
makes sense in the real world. No.
Cool. So if I'm at New Orleans Community College or whatever, and my crew is that my mom is my driver, and my dad is my like gopher person, that's fine.
That's awesome.
Cool.
I'm still just picturing you as all gas, no brakes. Like,
that
that's
was the
your
vibe
shit.
I was going for. Like that's still my thing, but my parents are definitely like my mom is my driver. My mom is standing in the background as I walk up to some college girl and say, "Loch Ness monster, smash or pass."
I'm so proud of him.
And
She's just like, man, how would you even like smash something like that? It's so big. Like, I can't press down. Like, you can't squish it.
Mom, shut up.
I was like,
I definitely smash.
So you guys are going
sorry,
to, like,
Gage. I did that right as you were taking a drink of Coke.
You guys are going
That
for,
was
like,
almost
this
bad.
sweet old mom. I'm thinking
Yeah.
like 45-year-old, like been like chain smoking since she was 16, and she's just like, He's
She's
just
40.
trying to start his career.
Yeah.
Well, because he's in college, so community college. So he's probably like, what, 19?
I told
Yeah.
him he should have been a televangelist. That's where the real money's at.
He could have had a mega church in Texas, but he's here in New Orleans
And you're there too.
because he needs my money.
That's your car, Mom.
It's like immediately puts out a cigarette and lights another one. It's like, it's
Get
like
back
half
in the
finished.
1996 Buick Park Avenue, so help me.
Lincoln Town Car.
Yeah.
Wait, DJ, didn't you? Never mind. I don't know. Didn't you used to own a town car?
I owned a 1996 Buick Park Avenue.
Okay. Same thing. Same
yeah.
thing.
So, DJ, none of you guys have probably, I don't know if any of you have heard of the Adventure Zone or My Brother, and Me. Really fun stuff. DJ introduced me to him. DJ, with Adventure Zone, did you notice how one of the characters that they created was literally Grunkle Stan?
Yes.
Okay. Because he was describing the character, and I was like, is this Grunkle Stan? And then he mentioned what type of car it was, and I Googled it, and I was like, this is Grunkle Stan. Like, this
That's
is
really
100% Grunkle Stan.
Good old Ned.
I don't know any of their names by heart yet, but
That's the only one that stays with me. The magic guy, the chosen one, is that like, it's like Ducky or something like
they
that.
Ducky.
Yeah. And the girl.
I always imagined Ducky as Officer Blubs. Not
I love
really.
that.
It wasn't Sheriff Blubs. It
But
was Deputy
chosen.
Derlin.
Yeah, that's funny.
Because I imagined all of them as Gravity Falls characters, essentially.
Gage, can you remind me again, like, how toughness affects your ability to receive damage?
Oh, okay. So when damage happens, it just happens. Like, you may have some type of armor that cuts back on damage, but if something attacks you and it deals 2 damage, it's dealing 2 damage.
Right. So,
Also, when
It's
you
pretty similar to the Christmas episode where it was like,
Right.
you're getting hurt no matter
yeah.
what.
So
Yeah.
toughness is more about, like,
Your strength in doing things.
okay.
Yeah, unlike the actual character sheet, it will say, like, protect some. Mine says protect someone or kick some grass.
Boating.
Yeah, so it's different in that when you roll for combat, you're not rolling for different types of damage almost ever. You're rolling on whether or not you actually attack and whether or not that attack harms you as well, essentially. There are certain weapons. Now, I will say certain weapons and certain abilities that you have allow you to just outright deal damage, deal harm. But if you do kick some butt, for example, harm is going both ways unless you have a very good success. So you're going to be dealt damage and they're going to be dealt damage because that's like running up and fighting. So that is an important distinction. So if you have like a gun, for example, you wouldn't say, I'm going to kick some butt. You would say, I'm going to shoot my gun.
I'm gonna shoot some butt.
So there's a difference between,
Dick
like,
Cheney, what are you doing here?
I thought some butt was just like, that's melee combat, but it sounds like there's melee weapons.
Well,
Yes.
yeah. So if you have a melee weapon, it is going to be different than just doing kick some butt. I think you still have to roll for it, but
It's not just immediately going to harm me.
yes,
necessarily.
depending on the weapon.
Yeah, and like for
Part of that's going to depend on like the range of it, stuff like that, potentially.
like my class, for example, there's a perk called the big whammy, which is you can use your powers to kick some butt, but if I miss, it's a magical backlash. Like it all reflects towards me, which is why I did not pick it.
Okay. Because I think I picked my moves. I'm just trying to pick the ratings.
Okay.
And
Oh wait, did you for sure land on the mundane?
Mundane.
Okay, mundane. Do you have a name?
I don't.
That's fine. Finish out get to the introduction, and then while the other guys are introducing themselves, like fully, you can go ahead.
It's got to be a mundane name or not.
Bobby Hill. Just be
Hobby
Bobby Hill.
Bill. Hobby Bill.
Okay, Dad.
I'm hurt, Mom.
It's just like the exact opposite of everything. Bobby.
Bonus points if you're Cooper's brother, and you're actually saying it to your dad, Cooper's gopher, and both parents don't care about you.
What? What are we talking about?
I'm kidding. That's something you guys decide amongst yourselves.
My brother will also be someone in my crew.
Okay. I will say that's part of the next step once you guys are all at the introduction. Part of this is backstory or background. The background is specifically your background with the other people in the party. So that's something that we're going to decide on as a party. And one of the questions I did want to ask, now that we all know what we are you a pre-existing group? Or do you want this to be the first time you all work together?
So, my thinking, and I'm not the primary voice, right? My thinking is whatever you guys are, whether you're a group or not, I have just shown up and I'm just trying to do street interviews essentially, and I happen to get roped into whatever is going on alongside you guys.
You ever seen Nope?
Nope.
I've heard a very long. I've heard a much shorter than the movie explanation of it. That that episode is still getting plays. By the way,
Wild.
it got 2 this
So you've
past
seen
week.
it?
I have seen it. I was working while it played in the background.
Oh, okay. That your character reminds me of the electronic store guy.
Yeah.
Just a bystander who gets roped into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to ask this from a practical perspective,
Yes.
because I know the concept of a tank is going to be different in this. It requires you to have armor or something. I don't think anyone's picking something that has armor built in. Do we have someone who can take any hits?
All of you have 7 potential harm.
Right, but does anyone have armor or anything that will
No.
keep?
Can I
them
assure
safe?
you that the mundane is not our guy?
Hey, listen.
You're not
You
that
just-
guy,
Wait,
pal.
I
You
do
just
want to
wait.
say, like I said, this is not combat heavy. There's going to be some minor combat here and there, but most of it is based on figuring out the weaknesses of whatever you're in combat with, and just surviving and doing the coolest thing that you can.
I think I've got mine figured out, except it's tricky. So, weirdness is just about magic.
Yes, pretty much.
Just sneezed and bit my tongue.
Gross.
My tongue, it hurt.
Okay. I think I've got that, and I'm gonna go with this, and this. Okay. Last question. When it comes to weapons, I remember there was something talking about the different kinds of weapons, that says useful, that says messy. What's the difference, and where can I find that table if it explains it somewhere?
Yeah, that is segundo.
Messy means that it creates a bloody mess.
So things
The
fall
result is
out.
going to look gross.
Yes. So close
Oh,
means
very
that it's
mundane.
effective at close quarters, outside of arm's reach, but not too far. Messy spreads a lot of blood and gore around. It really just is going to change the storytelling elements of it.
So there's one
You
that
said
says
useful. That means this
Yeah.
weapon has other uses outside of violence.
Okay. Well, as long as someone else actually has does anyone else have a means of transportation for the group as a whole?
Well, so if I make mom and dad walk, then I do have a license. I promise.
Wait, so
We're
you
just
have a
in their
car that
minivan.
has 5 seats, right? It's got 5 seats?
Yeah, tell you what, we'll just assume I have a minivan.
Okay, a minivan.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got 7 seats,
Okay.
and there are 4 of us.
I think I do have mine figured out, everything but the name.
Then we'll start with someone else giving their introduction. So for your introduction, I just want you to give a brief. Now, okay, before we get into that, because this might flavor text some of it, we are in a modern day parallel version of New Orleans that I'm calling Nouve Lune.
Very French.
Yeah, it's French for new moon.
Love it.
Yeah. So it's it's modern day parallel version of New Orleans called Nouve Lune. By parallel, I mean it's got the vibes of New Orleans. It's got a lot of the cultural background is very similar. I just didn't want to have to use a real map of New Orleans. So
San
I've
Francisco.
really shrunk down, and there are a few different areas of the city that you'll probably go to. like you're going to have the French Quarter, essentially, which is very similar to like the French Quarter in New Orleans downtown. You're going to have an area that's going to be more swampy. There's an area that's essentially just graveyards in the middle of the town, which is in New Orleans. You've got areas that are more run down and a little bit more dangerous potentially. And then you've got areas like the docks, the harbor, bay kind of area. Just think like that's the kind of, the kind of general idea of what the layout of the land is. Otherwise, it's modern day. The difference, another big difference though, New Orleans in real life, the supernatural is kind of just accepted. People in New Orleans believe that there's a group of vampires that lives there. That's a legitimate belief held by many people local to the area. There are cab drivers in New Orleans who are told not to stop near graveyards or at night in most places in the city because of all the stories of ghosts hitching rides and then not paying for them. That's not real thing. Go ahead.
I feel like there are plenty of reasons to not stop your car at night in New Orleans.
Okay, that's fair.
Several.
But that's at least the public story.
That's fair.
But the supernatural isn't just something that people talk about or some people believe in, it's accepted. So the big difference between that and here is it's even more so. So the supernatural, rather than just being something that people accept, it is a part of life. There are going to be witch doctors and voodoo men and stuff like that. There are going to be other things along those lines that are present that people just kind of accept. So yeah, that's magic is real. There are magical, mystical things and people and moonbeam ice cream and all of that jazz. If anybody catches the reference.
There's jazz.
It's a Benson
jazz?
It's a Benson Boone song. Heck, who knows? The Axeman might make an appearance. Does anyone know the story of the New Orleans Axeman?
Yeah,
I do.
that's the guy. That's the guy who snuck through the dog door, right?
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
I did a report on him in high school.
Checks out.
Long story short, the dude was 7 foot whatever, and 300 pounds, and somehow killed a family with an axe and got out through a dog door.
It was more than just one family. And
It was a lot.
specifically,
It was a lot.
almost all Italians. During the 1920s, 1930s?
Something crazy.
I think it was the 20s. So that's the layout. You guys, Garrett, Andrew, and Jacob, get to decide essentially if you're a pre-existing team that DJ gets grafted into for this experience, or if this is where you're all first meeting each other, or if two of you know each other and the two others just get grafted in. That's up to you. I don't really care too much at this point, but...
What if we knew each other and we know who DJ is because he's known as the internet clout chaser?
Sure, you can come up with that when we get to backgrounds. Or history, I mean.
Yeah,
One of my history options, sorry.
I was just saying, slight sneak peek of how I pictured the background of all this. I think we know of each other, and maybe one or two of us, two of us know each other personally, but we know of each other. But this is the first time we're actually doing something together.
I'm
kind of
cool
my
with
thought.
that. We know each other through the hunter world space, but we never worked together.
You're all in the same subreddit.
We're all in a Discord group together.
Could we?
Now who's the moderator?
Could we all have been potentially hired by the same person?
You could have been. That is your decision.
I say let's do that.
Don't get to decide that.
Do we have to decide before we pick the backgrounds and stuff? Because I feel like
Let's go ahead and pick history, and then we'll get to that. That can be part of what we do with history. So, the first thing, let's do introductions. I don't care who goes first. Just say your name. Give a one-sentence description of your character and their goal, essentially. Just what people should know about you. Kind of what you're good at. And then, just give a brief overview of your character so far.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Cooper Anderson here. Like always, you got Coop the Snoop looking for that scoop. And usually the scoop is kind of dumb questions about, say she's a 3, but she's actually a vampire. Is she a 10? Something like that. But I'm really interested in this stuff, and I know that there's some truth to it. So I'm hoping It's a festival this week, is that right?
Yes, there is a festival this weekend celebrating the 300-year anniversary of the founding of the city and the defeat of some great evil that we will get into more detail of later.
The French. Yeah, so that just sounds spooky. So I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna ask some dumb questions, but maybe I'll discover a little something extra while I'm out there. I know my accent isn't from the area. I'm from elsewhere, and I've been grafted in. So welcome to me. Anything else, Gage? Oh yeah, my mom and dad are here. I'm a little popular online. Some of you people might have heard of me.
What are your parents doing?
But mom and dad. Otherwise, they smack me. So I really cannot say, sir and ma'am if I'm in trouble. So, and my little brother, his name is Toby. Toby continued. Just kidding. We have the same last name. We have the same. Parents.
Wouldn't it be?
Please don't tell my parents that I said that joke.
Okay.
Your dad does the thing with the belt where he's just like whack. Just in the back.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay. Who next?
I'll go ahead and go. So just kind of, I'm gonna keep it very short and simple. I'm not gonna do a voice for this character because my character is just gonna be very like monotone, no emotion to him. But he is Thomas the Spooky. The only thing that you guys really have to know about him is you've kind of heard of him through the grapevine of like the hunting world. Kind of an odd, I think odd one is a good way of putting it. He has some very like almost unorthodox ways of doing things, but they're very effective. The best way I can describe him is think of, I don't know if you guys have ever played like Alan Wake 1. Like kind of disheveled, longer hair, like just classic, pants, flannel, hoodie, like just kind of relaxed guy. But just something seems off about him. You'll hear him kind of whispering sometimes in the dark to himself, thinking out loud. When confronted with it, he like shuts it down really quickly. And that's just, like I said, he was kind of brought out here on a job, and that's really about it.
Yeah, my flake is named Malachi Tilke. He's graduated from university, and he's been in online circles following conspiracies, different truther groups. He holds loosely to those, but he's mostly driven by the idea that there's something out there, and there's something orchestrating events. And while a lot of people are content living in ignorance of that thing, ignorance isn't comfy to Malachi. So he's going to get to the bottom of whatever it is. And he's drawn to this place because it's a hub for the weird and the unexplained and for delicious gumbo. So that's all wrapped in one big package for him to check out. And I think, I don't know, the one loose idea of how he carries himself is some of the students that he was close to when he was at university would say he always looked like he was in on some joke that nobody else knew. And it just created a barrier between him and them. His mind is on something else.
My character's name is Dr. Brian Isaac Gardner. I am a therapist. I help people battle their demons, inside and out. How are you feeling today? That's what we're going for here.
Okay.
Just very, very helpful, very, calm, and, wants to do what's best for you. I really want to see you grow, And sometimes that just means you may not be making progress uphill, but, man, you're shaking off some of that baggage. I'm here to help. And if that means I gotta put some rebar through the chest of some unholy abomination, man, we'll make that happen for you, okay? I'm here for you. Brian Isaac Gardner has just, appearance-wise, just a little bit confusing, where, on one day he's got his, more professional, it's just a nice, normal-looking, almost plaid button-up shirt with some, chino pants or something, just looks casual. He's not a weird, creepy, therapist or anything. He's not, but he's also not, he doesn't seem like he's cool, but there's definitely a flair of, you see him in, normal, casual clothes, you're like, you used to be different, because my mode of transportation that I picked for him is a skateboard. And
go ahead, finish. Sorry.
And he consistently, weather appropriate, and when it makes sense, he's wearing cargo pants. So just a little bit odd. He's not quite yet middle aged, but it's got some years of experience doing what he's done for probably like 12, 15 years. So it has some good experience. Probably started out in just some normal therapeutic circles, and then started to creep into the more unsightly things, and found that for someone who literally has a monster in their closet, there's only so much you can do without just helping them solve the problem. And there's a time to call the authorities, and then there's a time to get your nail gun and take things out of the closet, pin them up on the wall, show them for what they are, display it, put it to death, and then just throw it away. Clean up that blood smear.
I'm getting a weird mix of like Dexter and Gage. Who's the guy from Jujutsu Kaisen that uses the cleavers and like the tie?
Yeah, Nanami.
It's a combination of both of those.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't fully trust anyone who can prescribe benzos.
Fair.
See, I don't lead with medication because I think for some of my clients it becomes immediately invalidating.
He believes in exorcisms.
I think it's in some circumstances it's far more practical to start with something a little more gentle, like let's inspect your room, let's check your house. Are you hearing any creepy noises? Maybe you're paranoid, schizophrenic, or maybe there's just two demons playing blackjack in your cellar. Like
maybe it actually is a demon this time.
All right.
It could be.
She's a 10, but she's doing a Fenty fold. What is she?
Fenty fold?
You don't know what that is?
It's the bent over, like, drugged out of their mind pose.
Usually backwards. Like, bent over, like, it's bad.
Admiring the cosmos, if you will.
He said she's a 10.
Cool. I despise that I'm doing this again. I drank a whole Route 44 because I'm an idiot. I'm going to go pee real quick. I'll be right back. I'll be faster this time.
When you get back, we're going to do our histories. How history works is, DJ, you probably have read it. I don't know.
I have an account on Reddit. I've had it for years. So.
How history works is you're going to pick one, like each of you will pick one for each other player. So like Andrew, you'll say my history with Cooper is this. You'll say my history with Malachi is this, my history with Thomas is this. And then each other player will do the same to everyone else. So after we're done with this, each of you will have 2 points of history with each other character, is essentially how that'll work. Just because it's already 10 o'clock might be a good stopping point.
All right, so one of mine is we're married or romantically involved. Who's up? I'm just kidding.
Aren't you a child?
I'm a young adult. I'm 23.
Okay, Garrett's 23. I didn't get that earlier. 23.
I don't think I said it. My bad.
Brian Isaac Gardner, I have you in the 35 to 40 range.
Yeah, let's say it's all 34.
34. Okay.
35 is fine. 35. That's
I now know what I said that was, I think, misleading. I think I said that meant to say I've been a hunter since I was younger.
Okay.
And so I may have said the wrong thing. My guy's been doing it for on or off, like 7-ish years.
Cooper's 19. Thomas is 23. Malachi, I'm assuming, would be like 22, 23, 24, somewhere in there.
I was actually picturing like 26, 27.
Oh, 26,
He's a few
26.
years removed from being in school.
Okay. So we have a 19-year-old, a 23-year-old, a 26, 27-year-old, and a 35-year-old. This is just your average male friend group once you're an adult.
Until my wife and like all her like coworkers go out, all the husbands go out together, and it's like at the same time, and it's like, yeah, I'm 30, and the one's like, oh yeah, I'm 40, and the other one's like, I'm 22. Like, great.
What's fun is I'm 29, and I'm still the youngest one in almost every group I hang out in.
I was until about a month ago.
Every guy group
cool.
I hang out in.
So here's my problem is the job I started almost 2 years ago now. Like it's like a kind of a website company, and so most everyone there is younger. A lot of people, it's their first job out of college. I'm one of the older people there. And I'm not like the old, like there's a lot of people who are older than me, but of the 100 or so people that are there, there's I'd say maybe 15 that are older than me. So in my friend group of coworkers, there's one guy who's a year younger than me. He's the closest. The rest are at least like 3 years, 4 years, 6 years. And it's it's interesting. I mean, I'm also the only one married and that has a kid. Well, no, one other guy's married. He just got married, and I've got a kid. And I'm like, yeah, guys, I've almost been married 10 years now. And they're like, whoa, that's so long. I'm like, you guys you're children. You don't know. You haven't seen what I've seen.
You have. So I was up until this past week a stand manager for 7 Brew. So I worked with literal 16-year-olds. I had to explain to someone, I'm not even kidding, this happened. He asked me what the craziest thing I've seen on live television was. I had to look this kid dead in the eye, and I was like, hey. He goes, what? And I was like, I watched 9/11. I watched it happen. And he was like, that's insane. I was like, yeah. I was in 1st grade.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of terrifying, okay? Anyway.
Paul Garrett.
That's not the first time we've called you Peepaw Garrett either.
That's why not.
It won't be the last.
It won't be.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so who wants to go first? DJ, what I was explaining is that with this round, each of you is going to say one of the background things on your list of background or history that you have with each person. Since you're the one who's kind of alone here, but you're very involved online, there's chances you've heard of people. We can talk through that. The goal is that when we leave, each of you is going to have 2 points of connection with each other person. That's the point. Like one that you come up with and one that they come up with for you. I don't care who starts, but somebody get us kicked off.
Do we have to use one of the suggested ones here?
I am open to suggestions as long as you're not like the same for each other like everybody. Like don't do that.
I've got one for DJ and I.
Okay.
So, it is, they saw you use your powers for selfish or vindictive reasons. Ask them who the victim was, and then tell them what you did.
Okay, so Cooper...
And it makes sense, because he's like, street side reporter.
So, Cooper saw Thomas use his powers, and...
You can just call me Coop. Everyone calls me Coop.
Coop saw...
Except my mom and dad, they call me Cooper. Middle name means I'm in real big trouble.
Coop saw...
Yeah, I refuse to say it in case someone else...
Cooper
my middle name
James.
has power.
So, Coop saw you use your powers for selfish or vindictive reasons.
Yeah.
So, Coop, you get to determine who the victim was.
And then I tell you what I did to him.
Yeah.
What kind of powers do you have, Gage? Or not Gage, Garrett? I don't know, I called you Gage. You're hairier.
I'm not going to tell you guys all of them just yet.
What power
Sure.
did you use?
We will say that I jinxed them.
Okay, so I saw you getting some ice cream at one of those things, and the guy went to take it away, and I've seen him do this all day. And right as he went to grab it away, when you went to grab it, he just dropped it right into your hand, and he was dumbfounded what happened. Sorry, I guess you get to say what you did.
Yeah,
It was
he
the
gets to
ice
say what he
cream
did.
Guy.
Yeah, so
It was one of those ice cream
jinxed him.
jerks.
I jinxed him to where his nerves in his hand just stopped working. So he just dropped it into my hand.
And I saw the whole thing. And I thought, I better tail this guy.
I better record this and send it to TMZ or something.
Mom, get over here. We got the scoop.
Come get the camera!
Yeah, I got the
that guy
scoop.
got
It's
the
time
scoop.
to poop. Okay. So, Garrett, that's one for you and DJ. That
you
is
know
for
what?
Thomas and Coop.
Never mind. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Garrett, since you started us, go ahead and let's do you with Andrew and you with Jacob
Yeah.
from your perspective.
I feel like with Andrew being this psychiatrist type role, I feel like one that would make sense is I would probably say, because there's 2 options that I have that would really make sense here. One, you've known each other for some time, but since your powers manifested, you keep them at distance emotionally, or you hope they can help you control your powers. I'm gonna go with the help you control your powers thing.
Okay.
I feel like that would work pretty well.
So, Thomas hopes that Dr. Gardner...
Dr. Brian's fine too, whatever you're comfortable with.
Doc.
You know, some of the kids, they just come up with any old name. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Names are just the words we use.
Man, this
Long as
really
you
does
understand
sound
each
like Nanami.
I don't even know who you're talking about, but I'm glad. This is actually
He's
slightly based on
he's an awesome character.
He
You
really
have
is.
nothing to worry
There's a
about.
prior character I made once for a different kind of campaign it was similar to this guy, where it's like therapist not quite like the personality was very different, but very much a therapist, and he was like going to help find one of the kids that he was a school guidance, not guidance counselor, but a school therapist, and one of the kids went missing, and then like just it's like one time it's like, all right, here we go, and just rolled up his sleeves, and then like just things got real bloody real fast, and I was like, all right, I think I can work with that. Let me just add a little Mr. Rogers there, a little gentle smile. That's all it takes.
Okay.
And then Jacob, for yours, I'm trying to decide, because you said your guy's like 26-ish. I was trying to decide if we like knew each other and trust each other, or I've used powers on you and you never knew. And so I'm trying to decide between those two.
Yeah, that latter option is really interesting.
The power one, yeah.
But I had also been looking at my options, and two of them that stuck out to me were like we're old friends, or we went through hell together in something, and now we really
let's just do the old. Let's do the old friends and trust each other completely then, because that way it's like we can. Yeah, that'll work. I really didn't want to use my powers on one of us. To tell you the truth, if I DJ, I will say I thought that option for you.
That's
and
fair.
it was going to be Jinx, and it was going to be that everything you recorded for that day got corrupted.
Yikes.
Okay, so Thomas, your relationships with this team so far are Coop saw you jinx someone who stole your ice cream, and you basically deadened the nerves in their hand so that they dropped it back in your hand. You hope that Dr. Gardner or Dr. Brian can help control your powers. Maybe you have seen or heard about him in some other capacity. I forgot to ask, Dr. Gardner, why are you here? Are you from here, or how did you get here again?
I'm not from the area. I visited here a little bit, vacation once or twice. It's a wonderful place to live, wonderful people here. I think what brought me here is, I think we were going with like this being a group that we're formed. My understanding is all of us were
Brought here.
Yeah, we were
somehow.
brought here.
So I'm pretty sure
I'm
Thomas
local.
was hired. Scoop is local, and Malachi like knows something's going down here.
I think
Maybe Malachi was following Thomas somehow, since they are old friends and trust each other.
I think maybe whoever hired Thomas and just the people at work here. My role, generally speaking, is I'm not here to, I don't just sit up in the office. I'm more of a field medic of sorts.
A field therapist.
Yeah, you can't help people face their demons if you're not sitting there right there with them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not sucking the poison right out of their blood, how do they really know you care?
Fair enough.
If you're not ripping the head off every enemy in their path, like how do they know that you're for them? Just don't
This
worry.
is
You gotta
like
prove it.
the most boss mundane person I've ever heard about.
I was trying to balance her, like all the hunters are like they're big deal, they're important.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, mundane, but like still like I don't know.
Well, and that's the thing, is each hunter is supposed to be like larger than life to some degree. Like you're more than just a man.
The point
Even
is
if
like
you are the mundane.
he's legitimately a therapist and is trying to
Yeah.
the idea is for you've got these loose cannon hunters who are not always like doing great. So you want someone who can help
He's a therapist for hunters.
help them, or at least keep them a little more sane with the horrifying things they go through. And so probably some background with maybe a little bit with the FBI and some special investigations units, just like trying to help people who saw stuff, got some better experience, saying
Gotcha.
if I catch it, if I'm there on the field with them and I go through that trauma with them, I'm more likely to be able to make a difference. Probably published a couple papers that couldn't get that, they got published, but they were all redacted for like public safety and concerns over the kinds of things that were in there. And out of the 75 demons that I killed with my bare hands, here's my experience.
That really is Nonomy.
Yeah,
Literally, I'm telling you.
I might need to just watch the show, or maybe I shouldn't because it'll corrupt my character. But that's the
you
idea.
should.
It was I'm there to help with whoever's assembling this group. I've been sent here to kind of be the in some ways voice of reason, keep the rest of them safe, but also take care of them as much as possible. Not father figure, but kind of more like a well-intentioned chaperone.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
She's
and
a
you're the
10.
oldest too.
She's a 10, but she's in therapy.
I think
11?
I like the games we get to play. I don't think it's fair to give people a number that they don't have any say over themselves.
On a grading scale, she's an A+, but she's in therapy.
I think everyone passes in therapy. The only way you fail is if you stop trying.
All right, I'm going to go ask someone else some questions.
She's a 10, but she stops trying.
There's always another chance. No one's ever really done. I had a good friend. Stopped coming to me for 10 years. Died. Terrible, tragic accident. Cursed. Came back as a ghost. Talked to them for the next 3 years. Finally, they got to rest in peace. Really happy for them. All it took was a little bit of vengeance, you know? And to work through some personal, ties they had to this earthly plane. That's just time. That's just time. We got plenty of time.
I've already technically done one of mine.
Yes. And what was your specific tag for us again? Just
what do
old
you think?
friends?
Old friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
The interesting one for the flake with Dr. Gardner over here. Members of the same support group. But in this case, I think I would be a member of his support group. And I feel like that's the most topical. So it would probably be like this online help group, like feelings sharing, connection building. So
Okay.
I think that's the one that I do with Dr. Gardner.
Yeah, it's probably something to the extent of like, help, I watched Bigfoot eat my grandma. Like, what do I do? It's like, all right.
I've got a question about that.
Jacob, remind me your character's name. I keep starting to type your guys' real names, and it's not helping me.
Malachi.
Yeah, one of the rules in the game is the keeper specifically refers to the hunters, not the players. And so that's what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so Malachi, that is you with Dr. Gardner, or Dr. Brian, I should say. What is your relationship
Or
with
Dr. Isaac.
Scoop?
I know some people, they know some bad Brians. Dr. Isaac is fine.
With Scoop, I think. Yeah,
It's cute.
they're somehow tied into it all. You've been keeping an eye on them ever since you did your smasher pass for the Mongolian death worm. I knew you were up to something. You're part of something larger. And so
Okay,
I've
so-
been keeping up with your work.
So you recognize that Coop is tied up in it, something.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a tan, but she's Mongolian. Sorry, a Mongolian death worm.
Jeez, man. Kind of a little close, aren't we?
Okay, who is next?
I can go next.
Dr. Brian Isaac Gardner.
Let's see. I think this is probably mutual. Probably go. So I'm picking it for everyone, right? Not just
Yeah, one for each.
one for each.
And if it's not feasible that you would have one with one, from your own perspective of your character, you're allowed to say that. But since Thomas exists in the world of Monster Hunters, there's some kind of chance you've run into him. Since Malachi is in a support group that you are a part of in some way, online support group or something, there's a chance that you've interacted with him there. I don't know about Coop and you. You seem kind of not aloof, but I don't know how online you are.
I think what I'm going to say is Dr. Brian is a bit this is why I have mostly because there's like this weird, I'm working in this intersection where you have people who are hunting these monsters and people who are like investigating them, people who are like victims of it, and Cooper just seems to be this like weird anomaly of like he's just there trying to document it, but not document it in what I would see as a meaningful, scientific, or helpful way of just like what is he here to do? Why is he asking if people like why is he asking Smash or Pass about the Loch Ness Monster to college students? What's he here for other than like personal fame? So like thinking there's something else going on. He's like, you can't be that obsessive about it just for like YouTube, right? Like there's got to be something else.
Believe me, you can.
I was thinking you could also go the approach of like you talk to someone who was like who talked about him.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of seeing like because I think I do have a presence online, but I probably just discovered him secondhand from one of my people I've worked with, and then I go, well, I'm not sure how I feel about this guy. Like that, this feels like something I don't want influencing my patients in this way because I don't think it's helping them out. Shoot, I much rather would have been DJ's friend, but I feel like our characters just naturally will be a bit different, and I'm okay with that.
I do want to throw out, I'm writing all this down too. I want you to remember for yourselves your relationships with each other. But if you do something that contradicts the history that we're coming up with, I will call it out for the sake of storytelling. I am okay with retconning things in our
Good.
1.5 to 2 session thing that we're doing.
Yeah, I think, and I don't know if I need to tell, I probably need to tell him what. I think for Malachi, I saved their life from a monster due to an unlikely chain of events. Might be something that he only vaguely knows about. Maybe something just like, because a lot of what he's doing is remind me it's the flake, what the gist of the flake is.
Seeing like what's going on beneath the surface, looking for the bigger picture and trying to find what's behind all of this. So he's kind of a naturally suspicious person, a naturally questioning person. I
would
could see
imagine
him.
that it gets you into a lot of trouble, and like some, like not just some more organized groups of monsters or monster adjacent groups that he had unintentionally drawn the attention of, and I was able to, with my connections, more just kind of get him to safety, which is how he got probably connected, like how he got in my support group was I came across that, like maybe he was asking questions in a Reddit thread and I was like, oh no, he's asking the right questions but he's doing it in a public forum, like this isn't, you shouldn't have done it in the Sasquatch subreddit, come on man. That's mainstream, the cops are there.
Not the cops.
Something like that. That's just like wasn't a direct like I dove in and saved his life, but was more of a like through my connections like was able to help him out in a very like boring way of like, oh well, let me call my good friend and he's gonna send someone over to your house. He'll send a vampire hunter. They'll come take care of that. They'll douse you in garlic for a minute. It's a little unpleasant and you'll be fine. Let's see. Now I need one more for Garrett. For Thomas. I don't know if I have a good one here.
You can homebrew. We just need to agree on it.
For the spooky, that's innately magical. So I think what I'm going here is there's an option I have that's like they introduce you to the existence of monsters, but I don't think you did it intentionally. So I'm thinking like just, I somehow encountered Jacob out in the wild somewhere. Sorry, not Jacob, Malachi somewhere in the wild. And so for Thomas, like similar thing where as I was getting into some of the more kind of crazy stuff, like I was being brought in on very special cases where I was like, this person's kind of crazy. But it seems like there's something else going on that I came across or was introduced to or somehow like saw you before you even maybe recognize, just with the age gap, I'm not sure exactly how it would have timed out, but probably before you recognize like your own abilities and the full fruition of them, being like, oh well, this kid's not, he's not crazy. There's something else happening.
There's
here.
more.
Yeah. So I'm gonna.
But wait.
Hi, Billy Mays here with OxyClean.
So I think there's probably a sense of responsibility there of like I almost feel like I owe him, but also there's a little bit of like fear there too of the first like horrible realization of, oh no, there's monsters came from this little kid that I'm now seeing grow into an adult that's becoming more and more powerful.
Okay. Coop the Scoop.
Sitting on a stoop.
Coop the Snoop.
The
And I'm
Snoop.
chasing the Scoop.
Chasing the Scoop.
Yeah, so I don't look like I do kind of top-notch journalism. Mostly I do kind of ask, which cryptids people would sleep with. That is kind of a lot of my journalism. But I did over the summer, I did put together... What time of year is it?
It's fall. Like, we're going for, like, this is around Halloween time. Like, late October.
So over the summer, I put the pieces together that Dr. Gardner is the one that killed that nice woman who was leading the knitting class at the Y. But I put together that he did it because she was preparing a spell that would have unleashed cosmic horrors beyond our comprehension. So the exact wording is, this hunter was in danger of having unhelpful publicity, but I got the story killed. And so I don't think it's relevant that anyone finds out who killed the nice lady at the Y.
Okay.
Yeah, that context, that's good.
Okay, so Thomas is a relation, close or distant. Decide between us exactly what. I assume you're just some like distant cousin. Like we don't even really know.
We got some. It's like there's marriage in the family somewhere that connects the two of us.
Yeah, or like we at some point if we get talking about grandmas, it'll be like, why do you have a picture of Aunt Charlene in your family album of my great Aunt Charlene? So something like that. But like I assume that because we're related, I'm like a little tapped into powers or whatever. That's my reasoning for choosing it. Let me just a second here. Let me make a note. Aunt Charlene is his grandma or something. And then Malachi, this hunter saved your bottom when you did something stupid. Ask them what you did. What I did.
What you did?
What I did.
Yeah, I think you were asking Smash or Pass for the Chupacabra, and you didn't realize you were asking it to a goat farmer, who also was a vampire.
The double suck. No.
So I saved you. I brought out the cross, and I warded them off.
A lot of religious folks around here. Okay, well,
It is Nouve Lune.
I don't know.
It was next to the fleur-de-lis lying on the ground. They're just everywhere around here.
Yeah, I will say, I at first was oblivious, and then later I was like, wait a second. That guy helped me.
Okay, so we all have some history among you players now. It's 10:30. That is the main thing I wanted to get covered. You guys have your players, you have your hunters, we have the history between you guys. You are all here in Nouve Lune because Cooper goes to school here. Thomas was sent here on a mission with Malachi following him, and I guess also Dr. Brian was following as well to a degree because he like is in the same circles, just wasn't necessarily like exactly with him, if that makes sense. I guess that's kind of my understanding of how you guys get here. And you, Coop, have had interactions with each of them at this point, so you kind of like you're not on the fringe, but you are like you're about to be thrust into it, is kind of what it seems like. I'm assuming on the first night of the festival, which is where we will pick up next time, you all are going to run into each other during a certain thing happening. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen.
Well, deuces.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for coming together. If you could, would each of you send me your playbook? Not the full document, but like, export or whatever the specific pages that you have filled out and send those to me. Not right this minute, but just before we play. I want to say thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you, everybody who's been listening and hanging out. If you have ideas, suggestions, or anything like that you would like to leave in the comments below, please do. If you would like to do a game like this with us sometime, let us know. We would probably love it more if you would DM it, because then we don't have to do that side of things. But anyways, whatever the matter, thank you for just hanging out with us all the same. I want to say thank you to our friends, Jacob Casey, Adam Ward, and Jared Scrother for our intro and outro music, etc. Different music at different times. I want to say thank you to each of you guys, Garrett, Jacob, Andrew, for hanging out with us today. And continuing to hang out with us throughout just a few more weeks of October as we get into the spooky story that we have in store. I do want to say the mood that I'm going for is like it is going to be spooky, but it's leaning into a bit like farcical. Like it is going to, I want you guys to have fun with that. I want it to be fun, engaging, and funny for you guys, but also know that there is like an actual scary story going on that has big, bad consequences if things go wrong. So thank you, everyone. This is Everything But the Cats. If you want to follow along for the story that we're about to cook up, please subscribe so you don't miss out on what we put out. And if you want to see more content like this, let us know, whether you want to be a part of it or not. This is fun for us. We just want to know that this is what you want to see. So thank you, guys. And that is all I have.
Yeah, as always, if you're a 10, go thank your sales. Adios.